Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Advisor and Examiner and all audiences today. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Titania Anggriani. Today, I would like to thanks for the opportunity that has been given to me to present my research proposal with the title The Improvement of Students' Grammar Ability by Using Duolingo Application at 10th grade SMA Negeri 2 Karimun in the academic year 2021 until 2022. All right, let's we move to the contents. So the first, chapter 1, introduction. There are 5 points at here. First, background of the study. The second, the problem of the research. The third is significance of the study. The fourth is delimitation of the study. And the last, definition of key term. Chapter 2, review of related theory. First, definition of grammar. And the last, an overview of Duolingo. And chapter 3, research method. There are 5 points at here. First, research design. Second, research setting. Third, research subject. Fourth, research procedure. And last, research instrument. Let's we move to the chapter 1, introduction. Background of the study. Grammar is the system of language. People sometimes describe grammar as the rules of language, but in fact, no language has rules. If we use the word rules, we suggest that somebody create the rules first and then spoke the language, like a new game. But languages didn't start like that. Languages started by people making sounds which evolve into words, phrases, and sentences. No commonly spoken language is fixed. All languages change over time. What we call grammar is simply a reflection of language at a particular time. According to Effendi et al. 2017, grammar is an important element of language. Mastering the grammar of language will affect the mastery of language skills. Therefore, in studying language formally, grammar is a subject that should be studied in depth. The students need to be given adequate provision of grammar so that they have good language skills. At this time, the use of grammar is very important in the use of foreign languages, especially English. However, nowadays, not many people pay attention to grammar. They talk a lot, right, using the wrong grammar, whereas if we use the wrong grammar, then the meaning of the sentence we convey is also wrong. One of the reasons why this happened is the lack of the ability to understand grammar. Students who learn English at school have a lot of problems in using grammar. Language teachers and observers are very aggressively looking for solutions to grammar problems, from traditional methods to technology-based methods. It has been mobilized to improve students' grammar skills, one of which is the Duolingo application. 1.2, the problem of the research. So the research problem from this research proposal is how could the 10th grade student grammar ability in SMA Negeri 2 Karimun can be improved by using Duolingo application. Next, significance of the study. There are 2 points at here. First, theoretical contribution and empirical contribution. So from the theoretical contribution, the result of the study will be as the data information about English education that related of strategy of improving students' grammar ability. Empirical contribution. First, for the students, the study can improve their grammar ability using Duolingo application. For the teachers, the result of this study can be usable information for teachers when doing teaching activity and also as a reference to improve students' grammar ability. Third, for the researcher himself. After the research finished, the researcher expects to get more information and the researcher can help to improve the student's grammar ability. And the last, for other researchers. This study can be a reference for the next study in case other researchers want to make a further research to improving students' grammar ability. Next, we move to the limitation of the study. This study will be limited to improve students' grammar ability, the 10th grade students of SMA Negeri 2 Karimun in the academic year 2021 until 2022. Let's move to definition of key term. To evade misconception, clarification on several key terms need establishing. They are as follows. First, grammar is study of the rules governing the use of language. And the second, Duolingo application refers to a strategy that helps students to improve their grammar ability. Let's move to the chapter 2, review of related theory. 2.1, definition of grammar. Grammar is rules of language governing the sounds, words, sentences, and other elements, as well as their combination and interpretation. The word grammar also denotes the study of these abstract features or a book presenting these rules. In a restricted sense, the term refers only to the study of sentence and word structure, syntax and morphology, excluding vocabulary and pronunciation. According to Evandi et al. 2021-17, grammar is an important element of language. Mastering the grammar of language will affect the mastery of language skills. Therefore, in studying language formally, grammar is a subject that should be studied in depth. The students need to be given adequate provision of grammar so that they have good language skills. Next, an overview of Duolingo. The role of information technology has been growing rapidly in the field of education. As this change progresses, there is an increasing demand for studies in learning theory and relationship between the use of computer devices. Mobile technology such as tablets, laptops, computers, and smartphones enable learning in and out of the traditional classroom setting, breaking the gap between formal and informal learning. Online researchers have brought almost universal access to learning, allowing autonomous learning on a global scale. Meta, 2015. Mobile learning is really help the learner to study wherever they want. Learner can use mobile phones, tablet, computer, media player, or other portable device that can be used in any time and anywhere. It is a useful media that can help everyone to learn language because it can be used informally and spontaneously in every occasion. Actually, there are so many language learning media in 27 world and Duolingo is one of them. According to Meta 2015-19, Duolingo was created by Louis von Ahn and Severin Hacker, launched for general public in 2012, and it has no price or subscription fees. The company wishes that the product will remain free to use for everybody. It is a gamified language learning application or software for personal computers and smartphones and tablets with Android and iOS operating system. Let's move to the chapter 3, research method. Research design. The research design in this study is action research. Action research is a process in which educators examine their own practice systematically and carefully using the techniques of research. Casina 2013. The function of this research is to Duolingo application to improving students' grammar ability in SMA Negeri 2 Karimun. Research setting. This research will be taken from the 10th grade students of SMA Negeri 2 Karimun in academic year 2021 and 2022. Jalan Raja Usman, Sungai Lakam, Bukit Besari, Karimun, Kabupaten Karimun in April 2021. Research subject. The research involves students of the 10th grade of SMA Negeri 2 Karimun as the population of the research. There were 4 classes that research taught. since 6 was the subject of this research. It has 30 students. Technique of collecting data. The researcher observed the learning process. And next, the researcher used pre-tests to measure the student's ability of the grammar. The researcher used observation checklists that consisted of students' observation checklists. The researcher asked the students to install Duolingo application. And next, the researcher used post-tests. After the researcher used post-tests, the researcher took the documentation of teaching learning process in English subject, the list of students' name and other documentation. And the last, the researcher used rubric to evaluate the students' grammar ability. Next, research procedure. This research cannot be finished in one cycle, but with some cycle until improvement target is achieved. There are 4 phases that researcher did in one cycle, which is planning, action, observation, and reflect. Kusnandar, 2012. First, planning. Planning is developing a plan of action that is critical to improving what has happened. I do the initial observation of the classroom situation in the context of the general school situation. From here, I got a general picture of the problem at hand. Then, together with collaborators or research partners to observe the learning process in class, with attention paid to teacher behavior related to efforts to help students learn and students' behavior when the learning process takes place, especially learning grammar. Here, I tried to find out more about my students' abilities by giving a post-test, which from this research will show the level of student problems that are currently happening. And next, action. The actions carried out consciously and controlled. First, I asked the students to install Duolingo in their phone and asked students to play Duolingo from the first skill until the last skill for a month and made a club in Duolingo and WhatsApp group to remind students and see their progress. After that, I give my students post-test to know the result. And next, observe. Observations need to be planned and also based on the openness of views and thoughts and are responsive. After the students learn from the Duolingo application and do the post-test, I will observe the students' obstacle when they're using this application, whether it can provide an improving or not. And the last, reflect. Reflection is remembering and contemplating an action exactly like that has been noted in observation. Reflection tries to understand the process, problem, and real obstacles in strategic action. Reflection is usually aided by discussion among researchers and collaborators. Through discussion, reflection provides the basis for the improvement plan. Reflection, contemplation, is an activity of analysis, interpretation, and explanation of all information obtained from observation of implementation action. The research design in this study is collaborative classroom action research. The researchers' role in the classroom as the teacher and teaching the students by using Duolingo application. And while the real teacher herself is the observer watching the teaching and learning activity during the research process. The real teacher also helped the researcher designing a lesson plan, giving assessment, and analyzing data. All right, research instrument. The researcher needed the data to know the result of the study, and the researcher needed instruments to collect the data. In this research, researcher used tests in the Duolingo application, pre-test, and post-test as the instrument. All right, I think that's all for me. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.